What's up? This is Dr. Spoon from the IWC, and this is the wrestling recap for August 25th, 2012. First, I would like to apologize for not being around for the past couple of weeks. I had to travel for work, and then I had a really annoying family emergency. But as of today, everything's alright. I get to be back home, and I get to talk about wrestling, which is one of the things that keeps me borderline sane. If you can believe it, I actually pass for sane in my real life. But anyways, first off, SummerSlam was a very interesting affair to me. I like to give it up to Triple H for doing work. The Brock Lesnar Triple H match wasn't necessarily a 5-star match, but it really sold the idea that Brock Lesnar was a human wrecking ball, as they've been trying to sell. It does not do that much damage to Triple H to lose that match, especially since, rules are kind of thrown out the window. So in a pure wrestling match, Triple H can still stand tall. We have that. So thumbs up to Triple H for doing work. Also, triple threat match for the WWE title. Very surprised that CM Punk was able to retain, but that would be a complete lie. Because, again, Night of Champions is in Boston. I think that's where Mr. Cena will be picking up his title. But anytime there's a triple threat match and one of the competitors is the Big Show, you know it's going to be a slow match. The other two are going to have to gang up with the Big Show to make it believable. It was, you can see it from 110 miles away. To be honest with you, the Ziggler match and the Jericho match, Ziggler versus Jericho, to open the show, probably the top wrestling match of the night. The rest of the show was kind of blah, but it wasn't a bad show, so there's that. However, Raw felt like 3 hours. WWE Creative really needs to work on something to get that show to be interesting if we're going to keep it at 3 hours in this format. There was at least 4 times during the show they mentioned that Triple H and his possible retirement, his defeat, he wasn't even on the show, and yet most of the replays from SummerSlam were about his match. I know they're trying to get over the fact that Brock Lesnar is the man, but that's not necessarily the best way to do it. On top of that, the show actually opened with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman in the ring. Paul Heyman declared Brock Lesnar the king of the WWE, the new king of kings, whatever. And then they left. And then an hour later, we find out that Brock Lesnar put on tout that he was quitting. I mean, really, guys? I know they're trying to push this tout thing, and obviously you can't have us touting because, I really believe that people got caught on and started, touting in the news so they wouldn't be on TV. And there you go. But, that's just my personal opinion. Anyway, I thought that the show started off slow. The matches weren't necessarily great. I do not like what they're doing with CM Punk's character. I mean, they're making him a really whiny heel that needs the validation of others to stroke his ego, and that's just not the type of character I want to see CM Punk playing. I liked him more last year. He was more of a speak his mind, kind of a loner type, but he was good and he backed it up in the ring. Now he's all like, John Cena, you get to tell everybody I'm best in the world. Jerry the King Law, you tell everybody best in the world. I mean, that's just whiny on a different level. But anyway, 3 hour, most of it was truly forgettable. There was a Divas Battle Royal for number 1 contender. Caitlyn won. Forgettable. One of the big news items that came out this week was Tyler Rex did ask for his release and was granted his release from WWE. I guess he didn't want to play Magic Mike anymore. Tyler Rex and Kurt Hawkins had gone to this kind of Chippendale dancer, male stripper kind of gimmick, and I'm glad that he decided to not keep doing that. But hey, I'm gonna miss those dreadlocks getting beat by everybody. And then we go to TNA, and oh man, this was not a good episode this week. TNA had actually been making some pretty good content, but this week was a train wreck, to say the least. First of all, they've been pushing Hogan as coming back this week. Well, he was back, but he could barely move, so he was only in backstage segments, and he actually did not get into the... He did not even appear before the live audience. They really got to not do that anymore. I mean, seriously, if Hogan's going to be there, at least have him be there. But if he's not going to be there, make it a surprise. I think that would have been a much bigger surprise had he just not been announced ahead of time. Also, thank God they ended that stupid Claire Lynch storyline. She didn't even have the balls to show up. If you remember, I think last week, AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels had a Bound for Glory match. If AJ Styles had won, he was going to make Claire take a paternity test. If Daniels won, then AJ Styles would publicly admit that he was the child, the father of Claire's unborn child. However, we find out this week she wasn't pregnant at all. That she was in cahoots with Daniels the whole time. No way, really? And to get the pictures to blackmail him. Heck, she drugged him. Really? I didn't know that. It didn't look like it at all. I mean, the whole thing was just ridiculous, and I'm so glad it's over finally. Aces and Eights was able to elude TNA's crack team of security again, so that was another brawl. It's bad. Honestly, I'm really looking forward to the end of the Bound for Glory series, and I'll tell you why. As of the taping of this, James Storm, Samoa Joe, Rob Van Dam, and Bully Ray are in the top 4. This is important because the top 4 will face off in a tournament. You know, 4 fight and 2 and 3 fight, and then the winner of those matches have a number 1 contenders match for Bound for Glory, and it looks like James Storm is going to win as of taping of this. Now, what I think is going to happen is, because of all that garbage they did with AJ Styles, I really believe that AJ Styles, who's he's not completely eliminated out of the match yet. He can still get in the top 4. If he gets in the top 4, he could win, and then AJ Styles and Austin Aries will have a great match at Bound for Glory. Unfortunately, Jeff Hardy will not be having that match unless he would have to literally... See, I don't see how, because he is in the 8th spot. I mean, it'll make for a great... You know what? I take it back. This is TNA. They can do whatever they want. Jeff Hardy, whom I pegged to win this, could still get in the top 4, but I doubt it. Looks like they're pushing James Storm versus Austin Aries, which, again, they could have a great match, but I think that it would have been better if they had pushed AJ Styles or even Jeff Hardy, you know, someone who's a little bit more athletic, who could do a little bit more. But, you know, it has made for some interesting TV. Anyway, Smackdown, another good show, but extremely predictable. As soon as I saw that Randy Orton and Alberto Del Rio were fighting for the number 1 contenders, you knew it had to be Alberto Del Rio, because WWE is probably still punishing Randy Orton for that crap he pulled earlier this summer. Again, more replays, and then they're pushing that Triple H is going to be on Raw on Monday, which is the most advertising they've done for Raw in a while. And I think they need to really do more of that if they're going to keep doing these 3-hour shows. Push what the next episode of Raw is going to have on it, and believe me, that will, I don't know if it'll help, but it'll at least chew up some of those replay minutes that are just getting annoying. But that is pretty much all we have for this week's episode. I am planning on shooting again on Tuesday to go over Raw. I'm really interested to see what Hunter's going to be saying. I don't think it's going to be much. He's either going to be saying, no, I'm not going to retire, or I'm going to take a little break and come back around Survivor Series. And, of course, Brock Lesnar quit again. But, you know, hey, he's quit before. See how long that's lasts. Oh, man, it just feels really good to be back talking to you guys, back at my house. You know, everybody's healthy. Mom's doing well. all is right with the world. Now we can get this wrestling thing figured out. You know, get some of these TNA talent to start acting like professional wrestlers instead of horny, drunk college students. Maybe we can make some interesting TV. TNA's ratings are up, and they are pushing live through September. So we'll see. We shall see. You know, they had a good start, a little bit in the beginning, a little bit, man in the middle. They're going downhill now, but so is WWE. So if TNA can right that ship, I think that they can make a move, make themselves a little bit less indie and a little bit more legitimate. This has been That Dirty Sprint from the IWC, signing off.